So I did my research paper on renewable energy. This is a very popular subject because it's most often paired with the idea of global warming, which is a very public, politicized concept. So what I'm going to cover is some alternative forms of energy that we've been developing, along with our history of developing that alternative energy and use of fossil fuels. Um, my main idea is that there have always been ways to harness natural energy regardless of climate, but actually doing so is going to help save our environment and keep our time on Earth sustainable. Um, so sustainability is very important because over the last 70 years, we've continually used fossil fuels and natural gases, as well as nuclear energy, to power our society, and with that comes pollution, which will end up turning into global warming. So as we developed our oil pipelines, our oil network, we were also developing some solar cells and some hydroelectric methods as well. The reason we were so heavy in developing all these different power sources was because during the 1950s we were experiencing some threats with the Cold War. We didn't want to lose our sense of power in the global sphere, so we were looking for any leg up we could get in any kind of energy we could create. So we passed the Atomic Energy Act in 1954, which allowed atomic energy for use in national defense, peaceful applications, and established boundaries to keep the public safe from nuclear waste. One of the themes in this paper, though, is that the governments put economic prosperity first and have, over history, put the safety of their people kind of in the back seat, under the sense of national security. So as we kept developing, we started to experience some significant accidents. One of them was the Exxon Valdez oil spill, and then we had the largest in U.S. history, the BP oil spill, which leaked an estimate of 30 million gallons of oil into the Gulf of Mexico. Russia also had the largest nuclear accident in 1986 at Chernobyl, which left toxic doses of radiation around the area. Most recently, in 2011, Japan had the earthquakes that shut down 6 nuclear power plants that Japan is still experiencing the effects today. So the towns around the area have been uninhabited, and they will be for an indefinite amount of time. Radiation takes a very long time to go away, and it's actually also seeped into the groundwater. So they have to continually monitor their groundwater and make sure there's no radiation. But basically, the only reason that we have these concerns about fossil fuels and traditional methods of energy, besides global warming or besides danger to society, is that it's causing something called global warming. Ice caps melt, temperatures get hotter, environments and ecosystems react differently to warmer temperatures, and we live symbiotically with our environment, and so we don't know the impacts of a warmer environment on every single little ecosystem. Small changes get big. So some of the forms of alternative energy we have started to create is solar energy, which is the most popular. We have also started to create wind power, and one of the biggest ones right now is hydroelectricity. The reason why this is so popular is because when we have been trying to create energy with solar cells, we've been creating them with radio waves, microwaves, waves from the sun that travel parallel to each other and never interact, and they're individual waves. In the ocean waves collide with each other, they create power, and so if we can harness that energy.gov has predicted that it can meet up to 30% of the West Coast electricity demand, and eventually this will power 50% of the world's population, because we all live, or 50% of the world's population lives within 50 miles of the coast. So to wrap up, one of the things that we need to do is actually implement these forms of renewable energy and kind of move away from fossil fuels. One of the biggest examples or leaders we've seen in this field is Germany. They have, in a sense, created a hard cap, like a limit, where they will not have nuclear energy anymore over a soft cap amount of time. So by 2022, they will be completely nuclear free, and up until then, they are slowly decreasing their use of nuclear energy. This is a big concept for large governments, because when large governments take away 30% of their power, they're going to experience very negative effects in their economy. And that's one of the biggest cons to renewable energy, is that if we immediately switch over, we lose jobs, we lose gross domestic product, we lose just money in general, and people care a lot about money. So that is my presentation. We need to help the human race understand how to keep their homes safe, and we just need to listen to scientists and telling us how we need to do that.